Welcome everybody to another wonderful night here at the Owlet. I am Schtitle24, and joining me here on the cast for tonight's game is Merge. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well, Schtitle. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I've been thinking about renaming myself. A lot of people seem to be having a little bit of trouble, but my friends say that they'll get used to it. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, I'll definitely get used to it.
We've got a good matchup today. We're going to be having OlderWatch face off against Chinese Takeout Academy. Is there anything you can tell us about these two teams?
Well, whenever my team Burn faced OlderWatch, we had a tough time trying to figure out how we were going to go against them. I feel like, and while we did 4-0 them, they were a very good matchup against us, and I'm excited to see how much they do against the new team that has joined Owlet this season.
Chinese Takeout Academy.
Yeah. We actually faced Nevermore stage 1, but we never actually got to see Chinese Takeout, and I'm excited to see how they do.
I got to see a map of Chinese Takeout. That sounds like a weird sentence to say, but I saw a map of CTA play last week, and I think they were pretty solid. I definitely didn't get enough time to really get a good look at their team, but I'm really excited to get that look today.
Yeah.
By the way, I do believe we have OlderWatch in the blue and
Yes.
Chinese Takeout on the red. Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty, we're going to be kicking things off on Nepal. And in this goat-heavy meta, you think you're going to see anything different here in Nepal?
Well, through scrims, I've seen a lot of FAR run on this map, so I'm excited to see if any team actually decides to pick that up, and if they do, how the enemy team reacts to that. But I'm pretty sure they're probably going to go goats here.
And tried and true.
We see a Sim Goats from CTA. I wonder if that's a troll pick or if they're actually going to stick with that.
Now, we still have 20 seconds, so they have plenty of time to switch it up. And I know that Pats is one to do a good practical joke now and then, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Chinese Takeout switch it up and go with a more traditional Ryan Zarya diva composition with it. Yeah. But what do you think about the Sombra from Sickness?
I've actually been really impressed by Sickness's Sombra this last stage. They've done a really good job getting those key hacks onto their Ryan or their Diva of the enemy team and just opening things up for the enemy team. And it looks like,
yeah, there we go. Fat gonna go ahead and get a quick kill onto Gazer to start this fight out. And when you lose your Reinhardt and Ghost, it's a really, really difficult fight to win from there.
Yeah, getting that pick off on Gazer was just, it's essential for if you want to win a fight as goats, because without the Ryan, you have nothing to shield the enemy, your team with, and you just have to reset from there.
There it is, a hack again from Sickness onto Gazer to try and get that Reinhardt out of the equation once again, and it succeeds. No, I'm sorry, Jolly Roger to the side of OlderWatch. He's going to be the one to fight. And now OlderWatch is going to try and rack up as much control percentage on the point as possible while their limbs just get whittled down. There's that Lucio trying to hip-hoppity his way around. He's going to have to drop down last minute. There he is, Jaeger, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. And he pushes the needle to 31%.
Yeah, while Sickness did get that hack onto Gazer, Jolly actually missed his charge, I believe, and just got stuck in the CTA's backline and just got picked off. And Gazer was allowed to stay alive through his supports, and basically, OlderWatch just fell apart and staggered and ungrouped up.
They have a good chance to bring it together here. Sickness has the EMP, goes in strong, pops it, gets the entire team. Chinese Takeout Academy, however, not in the tight spot that they wish they were. Look at that, 2 kills already go down. There's the shadow from Gazer to secure their take there throughout that Graviton, keeping the team alive. Sound barrier from Jaeger to try and even the scales, but it's not going to do too much. You see that Zarya, Whiskotangi getting real low there on the edge of the fight, and Sickness and Fabtastrophe are going to have to pull out.
While we did see a lot of ults from both teams, it does look like CTA is going to take this. I think that OlderWatch should not have committed as much to that fight because they had already lost so many people from that grav, and they wasted so many ults, and while they do have the ult advantage, they could have come in stronger for this push had they not used any more ults.
Yeah, it puts them in a tricky situation, because although they do have that ult advantage, it's not going to take that long for Small Squid or Gazer to get their ultimates.
Yeah.
Both teams right now just kind of playing the pick battle, seeing what they can do. There goes the rally from Lysander to start things off. Jaeger gets booped up into the high ground. Not a place where Lucio really needs to be. Gazer getting very low with that Discord Orb on. There goes the self-destruct coming out from the D.Va. Small Squid gonna be able to find Faptastrophe there. And now Chinese Takeout Academy once again has a controlling hold on the fight here. It's 5v3, 4v2 on the point. Lysander trying to do what he can, take Small Squid out of the equation. That tips the scales back in their favor just a little bit. As long as they can take care of Delim, then they can get the chance to take the point back. But a big shatter coming out from Gazer as Lysander and Delim have this fight off on the edge. Looks like a Graviton is going to be sent out by Wisco Tangy. Jolly Roger coming back from respawn is going to be able to give his team a much needed reinforcement. And the shatter is going to be huge. Pats has the ultimate. He gets up. He's ready to use it. There's the there's the Transcendence coming out from V. And I think we're going to see Chinese Takeout keep a hold here, because just based on bodies alone, they have the advantage.
Yeah. OlderWatch was just not able to get everybody grouped up or actually fighting the same target. While they did have more ults and they used a lot that fight, they just weren't able to have that coordination to actually secure a kill on any of CTA's members. And CTA was just able to stay grouped, stay alive, and just pick off a bunch of OlderWatch's members one by one. We saw Small Squid get that pick on Faptastrophe with the D.Va bomb at the beginning, which really opened things up, because I believe he did have the trans, which would allow them to save themselves with the grab from Pats that was eventually given out. But yeah, I'm excited to see who actually takes this point, because I believe Sombra is a really good pick for this map.
Well, it didn't seem to roll in their favor last map. They're going to try it again. Sickness getting an early hack there onto Gazer, and it works out. Faptastrophe putting in that volley of balls straight to the face, and he's going to be able to take out that Reinhardt. Pats, however, going to be returning the favor. And now it's a 5v5. One team's lost the healer, one team's lost the tank. Make that 2 tanks as Jolly Roger looks to put this to a 5v4, and they've bottlenecked Chinese Takeout Academy into this small doorway, not allowing them to really get any give.
Yeah, we saw that hack from Sickness, which really opened things up and picked off Gazer. It seems like OlderWatch is getting really coordinated this time, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take this map unless Sickness is just, or unless CTA just doesn't play around that map.
You gotta be careful. There goes that ultimate, the EMP from that zone. We're gonna push Chinese Takeout Academy back to spawn, where they're gonna be met with a shatter from Jolly Roger, and it's some jolly good hunting as they continue to grab eliminations here. Not giving an inch, not giving a mile, not even gonna let that team smile. They are just knocking on the spawn doors.
Yeah, that EMP was really useful as they had hacked both the Ryan and the D.Va, which allowed them to just rain in damage, but I don't believe that beat from Jaeger was necessary. We're gonna see a fight break out.
There they go. They don't have a barrier to do anything about this. Graviton that comes out. The shatter from Gazer gets blocked by Jolly. No kills come out of the Graviton, but a lot of damage does get dished out. There goes Gazer getting taken down by the hammer, following by the Sickness taking Delim. And that's going to be yet another failed push, but the point gets swapped. Lucio and Zario back on the point, just doing a little bit of ninja work here, doing whatever they can to build a little bit more ult charge and stop the snowball that is becoming OlderWatch.
You saw a bit of a two-man army from Pats and Shin. They just left their team to just go cap the point, and while they did get 12%, it left their team very open and not able to sustain themselves through any of OlderWatch's attacks. Now we're gonna see a bit of an ult advantage from CTA. And it looks like they're just waiting.
Yep, there is a hack and a Transcendence online, so if they want to, OlderWatch is going to be able to buy a lot of time here. There goes the hack. It lands onto all 6 members of Chinese Takeout Academy. There goes the shatter, putting them all on the ground, and here comes the punishing. Nothing over but the kicking and squealing. that's going to be the end of this team fight. Clean and simple as Cygnus and Whiskey just wipe up the street here.
Yeah,
and Chinese Takeout Academy, they need to find a grip hold here.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to touch. Small trying.
Oh, there it is. Diva trying to get out of the point. He does get there. He is able to trigger the overtime, pops that self-destruct to build a little bit of time, and he actually grabs 2! Gets back into the Diva mech. Here comes the team flooding onto the point. There is a Transcendence out from Faptastrophe to counter that Graviton from Pats, but they still have a Shatter. They still have a Sound Barrier. There goes the Shatter into Jaeger's face. He gets knocked down onto the ground. Jolly Roger with a big anti on his face. Can't get healed. Nothing there for him. Faptastrophe gonna get staggered a little bit. And here we start to see the sun rise on the horizon for Chinese Takeout Academy as there's a little bit of hope in their eyes.
Small Squid absolutely carried that fight. He got 2 from the bomb. I believe it was Fap and Lysander. And then Gazer just got a huge Shatter, which cleaned things up. We're going to see a huge ult advantage from OlderWatch, though. And I believe that they, while having all Grav, Rally, and Lucio defeat, versus the Nano, they're probably in a good position for this.
Yeah, it's not in a position you don't want to be as a desuited Diva there in the corner facing off of Brig. There goes the there goes the Sound Barrier, the Hammer Strike, and the Graviton. And whoo-wee, that kill feed is mighty blue.
Yeah. They really, while CTA did get that cap at the end, they were just not in a good position to win the game because they had already wasted a lot of ults just trying to get that fight, and OlderWatch just took the loss, was like, hey, we're gonna lose this fight, but it doesn't matter. We have 3 ults for next fight, and we're just gonna, you know, clean things up and get the next fight, and that's exactly what they did. They got the huge grab, I believe it was a 5-man, and then they got an EMP within all that and just cleaned things up, and it was really good.
You know,
really
they say to the victor go the spoils, and that's kind of the way it goes when you get 99% on the point to your opponent's 13.
Exactly. We're gonna be seeing an Orisa variant of Sombra Goats from the side of OlderWatch, while CTA is just gonna go with that normal Ryan Goats with Ana.
I'm no tree hugger, but I love my environmentals.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be looking over at Jolly Roger to get some good pulls here. And speaking of the devil, there goes Wisco Tangi, taken out by Shinrakai in the very beginning here. Jolly Roger trying to stay alive as best he can, but Pat's being super aggressive on that Zarya, now cornering Faptastrophe while Jaeger tries to skate away here. Looks like this is a no skating zone as the rest of the team scares him off of the point and into the grave.
Orisa is a really good pick for this map, but the aggressive nature of Goats just allows you to run through the shield. And unless you have the damage to save your team whenever they do that, they're just not going to be able to hold the point with Orisa.
Yep, that's why we're seeing Jolly Roger make that switch over onto the Reinhardt, and big hack from Sickness here to kick things off. Once again, another 6-man hack. They're gonna go ahead and get Gazer, and they'll desuit Small, finish him off as well. Now Jolly Roger getting back onto the point. Only thing he has to worry about is a Brig right there, who's you know, stuck in a corner. And I guess the only person that puts Baby in a corner is Jolly. They're gonna take this point back right quick.
We've seen some really amazing Sombra play by Sickness. He's just been getting these EMPs left and right. Just absolutely destroying the Goats from CTA's side.
Yeah, and those EMPs are so impactful on a composition like Goats.
Yeah.
Speaking of Goats, there goes that rally from Lysander to keep his team alive as they build up their ultimates. Hammer down comes out, but it's blocked by Jolly Roger. Transcendence comes out from Faptastrophe to counter the Graviton from Pats, keeping everybody up and in the fight. There's the counter grab, and it's going to be the one that they wanted. There goes a Shatter from Jolly at the very end of it, and look at it, it's Jolly Roger left and right in the kill feed, able to block that self-destruct. And Chinese Takeout Academy, once again, getting taken back to spawn and back to the drawing board.
While Gazer did get a Shatter on both Pats and Dalem from the left side, he wasn't able to secure any kills, which allowed OlderWatch to just sustain through everything and just wipe out the rest of CTA at the end with the grab and Shatter.
Oh, and there it is, another 6-man hack coming out of Sickness, making his argument for MVP of the game here. Faptastrophe and Wissy gonna go ahead and grab their due diligence as Gazer takes a dip in the Sanctuary pool. Yeah, it's gonna be another lost fight here, and you gotta help me out here, Merge. I feel like Chinese Takeout Academy is just banging their head up against a wall. What do you do here?
They really just need to counter that Sombra. They haven't been able to do anything against the Sombra. They probably need to switch to either a McCree or just really just start scouting more, because I don't think I've seen their D.Va scout like ever against the Sombra.
Well, they did hear us. They're going to try something new, see if it's going to work out. There goes the Shatter. Coming up from Gazer. It's not going to find anything, however. Sound barrier from Jaeger to keep his team alive as they grab the rest of them into that doorway. And Chinese Takeout Academy getting taken out once again. Sound barrier on point, 99%. This is a lost fight.
Yeah. While Shin and while the Lucio and the D.Va, I believe, were trying to contest point, they just left their team again and wasn't able to sustain any of their players. And I believe that really hurt them in the end, because while they did have an ult disadvantage and needed to touch point, they just weren't able to help any of their team. And we see this amazing shatter coming from Jolly, which absolutely helped carry this fight against CTA.
It was quite a beautiful shatter, and also huge props to Wisco Tangy, because Wisco Tangy actually in that last fight grabbed the other 4 members of the team as the Lucio sound boosted them.
Yeah.
So sadly, they weren't able to get to the point. Well, I mean, not if you're on OlderWatch. If you're on OlderWatch, there's no sadly about it.
Yeah,
pretty good display of what the teams can do. What do you expect coming into this next map of Route 66?
I think that Sickness is gonna rock the Sombra again. Sombra has been really good for both Nepal, Route 66. I believe the next map is what is the next map?
It is Route 66.
Well, no, not after this, but
Horizon Lunar Colony.
Right. Sorry. Both Route 66 and Horizon and the 4th map are really good Sombra maps. We've been running that a lot in scrims, and I'm excited to see that Sickness. He's a really good Sombra, and it's just been popping off with the EMPs and the key hacks, which has just been enabling their team to just really destroy CTA's defense. I don't think that CTA has been well equipped for the Sombra, and just scrambling to just deal with the Sombra in general. They either need to be more aware of the Sombra's hacks, maybe get a McCree in there. Just, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
it's
a new map type, so we might see a new approach.
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe something different than goats.
That would definitely be a refresher.
Yes, definitely.
A refreshing experience. As much as I enjoy the small finesse beauties of a goats matchup, it's it's been a few months. Let's let's get some Baptistas in here. Let's get some Hammonds.
Yeah, definitely.
See what we can do to shake things up. Come on, Jeff. I know you're watching.
Route 66 is also a pretty good Pharah map, so it'd be interesting to see if any of them go for that Pharah. There is a lot of hit scan in the game though, and Sombra's hacked might be just destroying this Pharah, but
there's almost nothing more annoying to me than being a Pharah and getting hacked and not even being able to fly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if your Mercy gets hacked and you're just not able to get sustained through anything.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens here on the sunny streets of Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that they have finally explained the train wreck via cinematic.
Oh yes.
Took them long enough.
Cinematic was so cool, honestly.
I'm super excited. I already want the next one. I know it's greedy of me, but give me another hero already. Let's go.
Ooh, and we are going to be seeing the McCree coming from CTA, although it might be just a troll pick like the Sim last game.
Well, this one makes a little bit more sense though.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when that Sombra has been such an issue.
Yeah. And we're seeing Small Squid going on that Zarya too, so it's making me pretty sure that this is not a troll pick.
Everything else, however, pretty much as usual. Sickness on the Sombra and the rest of the team for OlderWatch in the blue. On defense, keeping to that true goats.
We're actually going to be seeing a Zen coming from V instead of the Ana, which is a refresher. I want to see how well he does on Zen.
There you see Sickness over there on the right. Pat's finally getting, you know, the ability, I should say, to push that Sombra back. Small Squid gonna get the first kill of the fight, and that opens up the door for Chinese Takeout Academy on this attack right here. Jaeger gets pretty deep, and so does Wisco Tangy. And Wisco Tangy, however, not gonna be able to come out of that fight alive. Jaeger getting quite low. This is gonna be an issue. I don't think that OlderWatch expected Chinese Takeout after not, you know, changing for 3 maps of Nepal. They were like, oh, they won't change. They're still gonna let our Sombra do whatever it wants. Well, that's not the case.
They were able to really just deny that Sombra that hack at the beginning of the fight and just really open things up with a pick on Jolly, which really helped them push through OlderWatch's defense.
Here they are at the edge of getting the first point, and Shinra-kai gonna go ahead and get the first kill onto Jaeger, getting his counterpart, and Lucio's taking out Lucio's within the goats. That makes it really hard for your Reinhardt to be mobile in the fight.
You're seeing a bit of a mixed right click from Pats. Then OlderWatch just being able to adjust to the Sombra with a bunch of McCree stuns and just playing more grouped and less reliant on their Ryan shield. And just able to counter that Sickness's hacks is just really helped them push through OlderWatch's defenses. But while we are going to be seeing a EMP coming from Sickness, I believe that, you know, CT has 6 ults. Let's see what happens here.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Let's see what we can get. There, Pat's trying to keep an eye out for this Sombra. And left and right, there it is, the hack from above. Sickness gonna go ahead and find 6. There goes the sound barrier, however, perfectly timed by Shinra-kai to give them enough health to last through the graviton that comes out. Bring in the back, gonna get it cornered away by Gazer. Still gonna be able to stay alive. There goes the counter graviton. Deadeye comes out from Pats, but the shield is up, so it gets blocked by Jolly as Pats gets jumped. Lysander gonna be able to take that kill, and Gazer gonna be able to knock down a good amount of the team as OlderWatch still, however, even though they used 3 ults there in that fight, not able to come out on top.
OlderWatch actually used both support ults at the same time, which really hurt them at the end because they weren't able to get the sustain afterwards. They used both Trans and the Lucio beat right during the grav, and that really hurt them, and just because CTA just had more sustain and more damage to give out afterwards.
Well, speaking of support ultimates, there goes both rallies coming out from CTA and OlderWatch as they brawl here on the corner. Azealia trying to find a good kill here onto the Reinhardt. There it is, finally taking Jolly Roger out with the help of that. The Small Squid cleans up the rest of this fight, and Chinese Takeout Academy seems to be a completely different team here on Route 66.
Definitely. They've been a lot more aware of this Sombra, and has actually forced Sickness to switch off. And they've just been rolling them ever since. I don't think the card has ever stopped pushing.
Nope, only briefly during team fights, I would say.
Oh, yes, of course. But they've never actually lost a fight, which has really helped them with the 4-minute time bank they have. We're going to be seeing a grav come from Whiskey, though, so it's going to be interesting while CTA does have that trans to see how they play this.
Now it's time for the brain games to begin. Azalea going onto the high ground to try and find that Lucio. Not able to do so, however. Small Squid looking for the perfect opportunity to use that Graviton. That wants to get that Diva out of the way, at least out of the mech, one of the two. Pats is able to squeak that Deadeye past the defense matrix as Lysander gets into a tight spot. Now OlderWatch with just an Ana and a Diva there for their defense. They're going to have to go back to spawn and come right back out. But since Small Squid has that Graviton, expect to see that come out as they're coming out of spawn doors?
Definitely. Gator just destroyed Jolly as soon as his shield broke, which allowed Pats to...
Oh! Sickness with the eat, the hungry diva, taking Small Squid's Graviton out of the equation. That hurts as they were about to commit themselves to the rest of the fight. There goes the diva bomb. Not going to find any kills, however. So CTA not knocked out of this fight yet. They're still in it. V does get the kill onto Jolly Roger as Lysander returns the favor onto Small Squid. And now it's a 5v4. On the point, there's the Deadeye again from Pats, but there's a defense matrix on the field. So what do you expect to really get with it?
Not much, I would say. As Gazer actually goes down to Sickness.
And that's a pretty big kill right there, especially with the melee from the diva. Jolly Roger gonna get the fire strike onto Azalea. And now OlderWatch finally grabbing themselves a semblance of control here in the match. Now they have the diva that kind of counteracts Pats's McCree and a lot of that, mitigating that damage. If you are Chinese Takeout Academy merge, do you keep Pats on the McCree, or do you switch to a more traditional GOATS comp to go 1v1?
I don't think Pats is actually that comfortable on Diva because Small Squid has been taking his Zarya, and Pats just, I mean, I feel like if he was comfortable on the Diva, he'd switch, but they just don't want to lose that 65% ult charge that the Small Squid has.
The Graviton is a mighty important ultimate.
Yeah, definitely. But I would definitely switch to a more traditional GOATS, but the ult charge is just not in their favor right now.
So here they come around in the corner. Sickness is on the high ground on that diva. We're seeing him play with similar competence to the Sombra from earlier. There goes the hammer from Gazer to get Jaeger, who is out of position. And that's what happens when you're at Lucio. There goes the Deadeye from Pats, and it takes Wisco Tangy out again. Jolly Roger in a bit of a tight spot, getting healed up by Lysander from the high ground, but Lysander's gonna have to drop down as Faptastrophe gets booped out of the fight, and there you have it. They have opened up the freeway for this payload to move in. See what they're able to do. The final fight on their hands now. Jaeger gonna put the sound barrier out, but only gonna hit one member. Jolly Roger, however, gonna drop two with the shatter. So now, it's a bit more of an even fight. The charge goes through the Graviton onto the ulting Diva, displacing that Diva bomb. Beautiful play by Gazer as he comes back through with a shatter. He does get taken out, and the man advantage is definitely in favor of OlderWatch. Not anymore, as 2 kills come through for Chinese Takeout Academy. Make that 3. It's just Wisco Tangy and Sickness on the point. Wisco Tangy, a high charge Zarya and a Dream, but a Discord Zarya nonetheless. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, with that Deadeye, the payload will move through.
Yeah, while we definitely saw OlderWatch secure some kills there, they were just more sustained by the size of CTA. They kept their healers alive along with their main damage dealer. I think it was Zarya, and they were just able to outdamage and outsustain OlderWatch. Even though they kept staggering on point, CTA was able to come back slowly but surely and just kept on finishing kills from the side of OlderWatch as they staggered through, which enabled them to really just push on and use a bunch of ultimates to just win that fight in general. Yeah.
So I've got to ask, we saw a situation there towards the end where it seemed that Chinese Takeout Academy with the McCree goats that they had going versus the OlderWatch goats, they were having a little bit of an issue getting those eliminations, and they've had the issue with the Sombra in the past. So do you expect Sickness to come out with that Sombra again now that we've seen Pats on that McCree and we've seen Chinese Takeout's McCree goats actually be able to kind of defeat that Sombra strategy?
I actually think that Sickness will maybe try one push with it, and if it doesn't work out, probably not, but more reliably, he's probably not going to go with the Sombra as we see him going on the Lucio. That's weird. I was not expecting that.
Looks like OlderWatch, if they keep what they have, they're going to be giving us a composition that we're going to be delighted to watch.
So
it's
Ash
not goats. Well, yeah,
goats.
I guess Bob can be your third tank.
Yeah, probably.
See what Lysander's able to do. Gonna be kind of difficult to land those shots through all of the shields. But since there is no Diva, might have a little bit of a chance there.
Indeed. We're gonna see all of just CTA just held up on the gas station though, just waiting for picks.
That's a pretty good spot to patiently wait. You get to read the enemy team comp a little bit and then drop down at your leisure.
Ash is going to get a lot of ult charge from the goats because it's such a grouped up composition, and the dynamite just gives her so much ult charge. We'd probably see a Bob every fight.
That would delight me. So Gazer, he's battling, trying to stay alive here in this fight. Finally able to get some healing from his supports as he takes Jaeger out of the fight. CTA now up 2 men. You'll see OlderWatch go ahead and go back to spawn. Now, I didn't see a lot of picks from the Ashe, but Bob already ready. Like you said, so much ult percentage.
Yeah, we actually saw Shinrakai build a Lucio beat in just 1 minute, which is actually insane Lucio play from him. He got the boops and just able to secure a bunch of those shots onto their main tank, which just enabled the CTA to push in and just destroy Jolly. We're just gonna see them push in now.
Yeah, Jolly Roger leading his team into the fight. Gazer trying to keep him at bay. Lysander going on the flank with the Bob. Bob comes in, doesn't get the throw up onto the Zenyatta, gets flashed by the McCree, but still in quite a position to cause a havoc as the rest of the team puts in the damage. There's Lysander finding the kills with the Bob. Small Squid and V both going to be falling victim to the big Omnic Butler there.
Indeed, Lysander just set up a really good crossfire with that Bob, but Pat's gonna get 2 before he goes out with the McRight click.
Thought I was gonna see a pine play here.
I thought too, but just got shut down. What you gonna do? But
that also
Lysander,
means that he's gonna be long spawned.
True. So it's gonna be a 5v6 on the side of.
Oh no, make that a 6v4.
6v4? No, 5v6.
There they go. Shinrakai went back to spawn to get Pats. All right.
Yeah. I'm actually
so
interested
with
to
the
see
ult
both
economy
sides.
that we have, we've got 4 and 6. What do you expect to happen in this next fight here?
Well, Azalea is probably gonna go in with the rally, as we see here. Just.
Oh man, that Transcendence is gonna keep you alive. There goes that Shatter from Gazer to try and make sure that they can get something out of it, but it's gonna be Jolly Roger who's gonna be dropping 3 on his Shatter alone. Lysander gonna grab 2 as they run their own McCree goats into this Chinese Takeout Academy. There's Small Squid, the final, the lonely Zarya on point.
We saw 4 ults from the side of CTA, and with no avail. They got nobody with 4 ultimates, while OlderWatch just got, you know, were able to clean up, sustain through the fights with a bunch of really good ultimate timing and usage, and able to use only 3 to deflect all, or to... We're gonna see a grab!
There's the Graviton onto the high ground, and the sustain is real as V lets out that Transcendence. He's trying to find a way to help Jolly Roger before he goes down, but it's not going to do too much. Jaeger on the high ground going to lose the fight to Pats. And now, that's going to make a pretty simple explanation, pretty simple reasoning for their return to spawn, as Pats decides to go on a massacre here towards the spawn doors. Gazer chasing down Lysander, and Chinese Takeout Academy, they don't want OlderWatch to win, but they're going to take it a step further. They don't want OlderWatch to get this.
Definitely. We saw a great Graviton by the side of Pats, or by the side of Whiskey, and while it did get a bunch of them, they were just able to use a bunch of damage on the Ryan and just pick off OlderWatch's Ryan, and was able to just push through and have Pats just kill 3 from there.
Right now, we're looking at Lysander with that Deadeye to do something. Small Squid gets desuited, so there goes the Deadeye. It's kind of like a cue from a stage manager as he grabs 2 the Transcendence just to make sure that the OlderWatch can stay awake through the rest of this fight. There goes the Graviton from Pats, a little bit of a lackluster use. Not anyone there to follow up on that damage, wouldn't you say?
Well, there were people there, just not the right people there to follow up, and they were just also disorganized. I don't believe that grab should have been saved, definitely 100%. But maybe he just saw, pressed tab, was like, hey, there's 3 people alive. Sure, why not? Let's just press Q. And just didn't have much follow-up on that. We're gonna see OlderWatch have a lot less time than CTA did, but I feel like they're in a good position ultimate-wise. And they've been using their ultimates really well.
They can have more time left in their bank.
Yeah, definitely.
OlderWatch playing the pick bottle out the corner right now. Wisco Tangy with the Discord. Gonna go ahead and hop back over to his healer. Shield's about to break for Jolly Roger. He's got to let it down and let it breathe. We see Small Squid over there on Chinese Takeout Academy, looking for the perfect opportunity to drop the Diva Bomb. Does get caught up into the Graviton, hit out by Wisco Tango. Sound Barrier as well by Sickness. There goes the Shatter coming out of Gazer as he tries to find something. Finally, the Diva Bomb does get released. Jolly Roger trying to track it through the rest of the map, is able to block it from the rest of his team. CTA now down 3 ults, make that 4. Not able to find any kills, however, through it. Deadeye and Rally still online for OlderWatch, but they will have to go ahead and go back to spawn.
We saw Jolly get a huge shatter by the side of OlderWatch, but just wasn't able to follow up with all the support ults and abilities being used by the side of CTA. And Pats just got that huge grab at the end, which really helped Gazer get another shatter and has the ultimate advantage over Jolly. So we're probably going to be seeing a shatter come through this fight. And as I say that, OlderWatch is pushing in with the rally.
Yep, Jaeger popping that rally to start off the fight. You do see Jolly Roger trying to find the perfect moment for that shatter. He's looking to work it up. There's the Graviton. He's going to swing through once, swing through twice. Now he's got a shatter on board. Transcendence from V going to keep Chinese Takeout Academy alive, but the shatter is going to put him on the ground. And there it is. Jolly Roger looking for the cleanup, looking for another play of the game if he can find it. But Lysander is going to steal the glory with those 2 kills on the V and Pats as the Lucio gets pinned to the payload. You know, you love the payload so much, why not stick to it?
Lysander, we saw him get a 4K at the end there, just picking up on Jolly Roger's huge shatter, which was able to get set up through just breaking Gazer's shield. We're gonna see Jolly get picked out of position here.
Yeah, not only taken out of position, but put into an awkward one when he got put into that Graviton. He's going to be taken out pretty easily. Whiskey trying to get you something well on that Zarya, but that Diva Bomb going to clear him from the point. Lysander, you're just going to pickle in shots from the high ground here. He is able to bait out Gazer. There goes the Diva now on his back as he's going to get staggered.
And OlderWatch, only 10 seconds on the clock here. They have to win this fight. They have the ultimates to do it, but I don't think they're going to be able to touch here. Jolly's going to make a last-ditch effort to just touch.
Oh, they are able to make it there for the overtime push. The Sickness going to be able to drop that sound barrier as well. There's the rally coming up from Azalea, hoping Chinese Takeout in the equation. Shatter comes down. He grabs 3, pins 1 to the wall. This is how it's going to be. Looks like Chinese Takeout Academy finally able to put their bodies up on OlderWatch as Lysander going to even the scales with the melee onto Gazer, taking Reinhardt out of the equation. Now it's a 6v4 on the payload, make that a 6v3 with that pulse bomb coming out from Lysander, booping the Lucio off of the point. Sickness trying to keep his team alive and keep the enemies at bay. Small Squid on the baby Diva tries to get remech, is able to do so, but is met with a lot of damage right after. Sound barrier coming out from Shinrakai as Small Squid locks on that Diva self-destruct. Not going to find any kills, however, with it. Gazer coming back to the fight, has the shatter, drops 3 with the shatter, and now we're seeing Chinese Takeout Academy finally get the upper hand of the fight as Gazer grabs 2 kills there on a high charge Zarya, charges OlderWatch off the payload, and all we're going to see is Jaeger return on this Hammond, but it is basically a last-ditch effort. Transcendence from V to make sure that they can put out the damage they want to put out, and Chinese Takeout Academy with a last-minute hold here. Man,
wow,
that was a battle.
Amazing play from both sides. We saw Lysander get a huge play with the Tracer. He was able to really just pick off CTA with the pulse bomb and just finding the kill onto Gazer at the start, but it just wasn't enough as Goats is just a really high sustained comp with the armor from Rally and the beat. And so he was able to do a lot at the start, but once CTA got those ultimates rolling, he was just not doing enough effort to really help his team there. And with a bunch of stall picks coming on from OlderWatch, they just weren't able to really deal enough damage or just really, what would be the word here? Probably, they just weren't able to really finish any kills off. Or just because CTA just had those ultimates that was able to, you know.
Yeah, I do. It was able to tie the game. That's what it was able to do.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, able to get a 1-1, and we're gonna be seeing them go over to Horizon Luna Colony. But we're gonna see a break coming in.
Yeah, we're gonna have a short break so that teams can talk amongst themselves and prepare for Horizon Lunar Colony. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And we're in one of my favorite maps, I think, in Overwatch, Horizon Lunar Colony. What do you think about this map, Marge?
Horizon is definitely one of my favorite maps because it's one of the few maps that Widow is actually good on, and that's That's one of that's my favorite character to play. Honestly, it's just I'm more of a big aim, no brain player. Oh, we see a pulse coming in from CTA.
That's all right.
Hmm. That's
Yeah, I got to see
an
also you
interesting
see
comp.
variety on this map.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, like
Judging from
even at the
OlderWatch's
professional level. I mean, yesterday we got to see the Houston Outlaws. Jake came out with a Bastion. They played in a Bastion Orisa.
I actually did not see that match, but that sounds interesting. I'll go watch it after this.
Oh, it
And
was
my
it was a
mouth.
pretty good match. It was the Outlaws versus Florida Mayhem.
Oh, cool. We're gonna be seeing an interesting comp by the side of OlderWatch. I don't think they're gonna stick with it, but
Oh, I hope they
that'd be
do.
interesting. I hope they do too.
For two reasons. One, I want to see Lysander do it. I want to see Lysander solo heal that composition. For those of you that may not be able to see the composition or that don't know why I'm saying that because there's a Genji and a Mercy on the same team. No, I'm kidding. It's because there's 4 DPS and a Mercy and a Bastion. Bastion can take care of himself. Tracer can find a health pack. Doomfist is Doomfist.
Doomfist is Feed Fist.
Doomfeed. But you know, I wouldn't mind seeing some Tracer play. I wouldn't mind seeing some Doomfist play here and there.
Definitely. We're gonna be seeing. I definitely think. What do you think about the new patches coming through? I think that Ashe and Soldier are gonna be really useful, and we're gonna see it being used a lot more.
I sadly have not gotten a chance to look at all the different hero changes that are going to be coming through. But I am not a believer that this next patch or Baptiste is going to change the meta very strongly. Mainly just because that invincibility field that Baptiste has, basically, like, although it is very strong that you can't die, one, it's temporary, and two, it leaves you. It doesn't heal you. He doesn't have a sustain, like a healing ultimate. It is a pure sustain. That's all it is. It's just to be able to get through a little bit more time, but it leaves you at such low health that up against a composition like Goats, you can just speed boost your team out, let that do the damage, speed boost your team out, and then come right back in to finish people off. And you're going to need another strong healer. So I can see him taking the place of maybe a Brig within the Goats composition. I feel like that can lend to some interesting things.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking of more of like a Baptiste bundled with maybe a McCree or something, because an invincibility field plus a high noon means that the McCree does not die. So if
I haven't seen the playtesting, but what about how do you know how what the height of the immortality field is? Because theoretically you could put a Pharah in there.
I believe it's like 30 meters up.
Okay, well.
It's not that big. It's not like infinite, but I think it's like about 30 meters.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna see the game start here.
Yeah, speaking of big game, no brain, Lysander gonna be rocking that Widowmaker over there. Not to call you a no brain, Lysander, when you watch this back. Just, repeating what my co-caster said. Oh, it's gonna be kind of difficult to get past that diva.
Yeah, for sure.
It does look like Chinese Takeout Academy will be able to hold here for the time being. Gazer getting quite low. Oh no, Lysander does get the pick on the Gazer from the side, as well as Shinrakai, and that's called big brain, big aim right there, grabbing those 2 kills. Catastrophe on a D-suit small squid. That's going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side, but it's not going to be a game ender for them. Jaeger trying to stay alive on this point to keep this defense in whiskey, and Lysander, they're going to make it quite difficult for that to happen. Looks like we're going to see a pretty quick take here. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. It only took them 1 minute and 5 seconds to get that first point.
Unbelievable by the side of OlderWatch. Lysander able to get those 2 picks at the start, which really opened things up for OlderWatch to just push in. and just rush through CTAs because he got that pick on to Gazer and I believe it was Shinrakai.
Mm-hmm. He did it from the side.
Yeah, all the way from across the map, which was really helpful in letting them through. And we're gonna see an ultimate advantage from OlderWatch as they push through here for this fight.
Yeah, good diversion there over on the right-hand side, opening it up for the Widowmaker on the left, as well as Sickness on the high ground on that Ash. There goes the hammer from Gazer, but he gets booped out of the way and then charged at the same time. Bob onto the field. He's going to be looking for a couple of kills, but he's shooting straight into a defense matrix. And don't forget, there goes the Graviton onto the field from Whiskotangi, but V's going to be the one coming out with the kills here. Gazer trying to hold that shield up, but that shield's going to break pretty quick. Sickness gets the kill. And now we're seeing OlderWatch have quite an easy time here. They have pretty much free reign on the point. There is a D.Va with that self-destruct, but it's gonna be a difficult thing. Oh no, Baby D.Va might be able to take out Zarya. Whiskotangi in dire need of some health is able to get Small Squid before he resuits. Now we're seeing CTA finally grab a bit of a foothold. They're taking control of their point again, and as I say it, they lose it, because that's how casting goes. There's Pats trying to keep things alive. Small Squid, however, going to be able to come in and save the day. There's another Bob coming out from Sickness onto the point, and that is such a difficult thing to deal with. Such a large health pool on that ultimate.
Definitely. We see Sickness and Lysander just putting up this crossfire from the left while their team pushed in from the right and was just able to destroy. Even though Jolly got picked at the start, they were able to get Azer at the end, which has allowed them to push in through here.
Yeah, good on the stagger, however, from CTA. They have been able to keep this alive. Mind you, not even, just under 50% of the point has been taken here. And I've seen ultimates come out twice for at least half of the roster of OlderWatch on this attack. Gazer, the only one trapped up in that Graviton there. Yeah, you're going to put the sound barrier out, and this will finally be the moment where we see that ticker tick on.
Yeah, definitely. Lysander actually popping off on the Widow here is able to secure so many kills from the side of OlderWatch, and it's just been enabling his team along with Eye Sickness to just push through and able to really just keep that fight going for a long time and able to keep the OlderWatch on the advantage there throughout that entire fight. And we saw them actually keep the ultimate advantage even though they were using a lot, and just able to really enable their team to just push through CTA and really win the point. Yeah.
That they did. And one thing about that ultimate economy was the rotation of it was very well done. We never really ever saw more than 2 ultimates come out at once, and even then I don't even think we saw that. We saw ultimates layered on top of each other, but not necessarily 2 at once, and that way there was always one member of OlderWatch on the point with an ultimate, or just off the point with a Bob, with sights, with something to throw into the mix to keep the advantage on their side, even though there was such the drastic respawn advantage for CTA.
Yeah, definitely. We actually saw them really use the support ults more efficiently than we saw in Route 66 because they didn't layer them as much. They used trends whenever they got low, and then as soon as trends was over, right after that, if they got low again, beat, and as soon as that was over, they graved or something, and it would really help them just keep CTA on the defense and just not really able to let them really do anything. We're going to see Small Squid actually scouting for their team here to see if they can run this comp that they are doing. And it looks like he's going back to Switch.
And you don't really want to be running that Winston into the Reinhardt and the Moira. That's asking for some trouble. But they're going to do it anyway. Small Squid over onto the D.Va to make sure he can deal with that Ashe, with that Widowmaker. Lysander and Sickness both on the opposing high ground, peppering in shots and allowing Whiskotangi to take the final kill there. Dylan going to be able to take the main tank out of the fight, but it's not going to be enough as Gazer does fall. And it's just a bit of a back and forth here. Pats, however, deciding to take things into his own hands, grabbing those kills onto Whiskey and onto Faptastrophe. And that's going to be another quick take, even quicker I think. Nope, just slower. It looks like. We saw OlderWatch take it in 2 minutes and 55 seconds, and we'll see CTA take it in just under 45. Oh no, Sickness is able to get back to the point. As is Jolly Roger. The trickle begins to come in, and this could be a penalty of sorts. If you don't get the defense here, now you've trickled your team, and you've left 2 tanks very far forward.
Yeah, I don't think that OlderWatch should keep on contesting this here. I mean, it
All
looks
right,
like they're able to sustain.
Oh, nope, there it is, and now the entire team caught very far forward.
CTA is just able to really contest them through here and just picking off, allowing OlderWatch to stagger while they go onto the point and having this huge advantage. But I think OlderWatch is going to regroup and just let him have a few ticks and just contest after this, but Small Squid gets a pick on the Sickness. And
it doesn't look like a regroup is in the cards at the moment. There goes the Transcendence. That doesn't stop a Diva Bomb, but the Reinhardt shield will. Jaeger does have the Coalescence, but he gets stunned out of that by Delim on the Rallying Brig. There we go. Now, OlderWatch having a bit of an issue defending on this point. 5 minutes and 40 are set up now. Gazer with that hammer. And wow, CTA decided to roll a snowball down a hill here at the Horizon Lunar Colony.
definitely, OlderWatch contested that first point for way too long, which allowed CTA to just set up that snowball and just get those picks onto Jolly and Jaeger, and just able to really destroy OlderWatch by just snowballing and using Shatter at the end to deny them to contest, and just really a really good ultimate usage, and making OlderWatch stagger at the end there. But Jolly and Jaeger and Lysander, while they did get picks at the end there, Jolly used Shatter, which was a really big investment, especially when he didn't get, I don't think he got anyone at the Shatter at the first point there.
It did get blocked.
Yes, and so he invested too much. The OlderWatch itself invested too much on that first point recontest, and they weren't able to contest it, and it really hurt them at the end, because now CTA has over a minute lead on them, even though it looked like OlderWatch was going to be in a really good position for Horizon here.
We'll see what they're able to do here on this defense. They do CTA does get to defend first, since they have the larger time bank, and they're going to be defending with this kind of pseudo dive.
Yeah, pseudo dive has been really good for defense here, because you're able to just drop in from the top where Small Squid is, and then just use movement abilities to get out. But it doesn't look like they're doing that there. They're going with this really aggressive playstyle, and it doesn't look like it's working out for them, even though Gazer actually gets a pick onto the Jolly.
Yeah, it does not look like it's working out for them at all. Lysander does get that kill onto Shinrakai, and the issue with that is that's a long walk back from spawn.
Yeah, definitely. It seems that Gazer is really aggressive as this monkey, just forcing the sniper sightlines to just not be really available there. But Lysander is just getting that nice crossfire while they're pushing in here.
Lysander's positioning has been quite good throughout the rest of this map. Ooh, he almost gets the headshot there onto the Zenyatta. Nope! I shouldn't have said almost. Followed through right there. Now he gets to sit on this perk just slightly away from the point, looking in on the opposing team. OlderWatch going to be able to have a nice little line of fire there. That's going to bottleneck the rest of CTA here at the back of the point. They lose their main tank on Gazer. It's kind of hard to run that Winston into a Reinhardt like this, when the Reinhardt can just kind of walk up and keep swinging away, getting healed by his healers. Small Squid trying to stay alive on the point, able to help out with Pats on taking Sickness out of the mech here. Not able to find any kills on it. There's a sound barrier coming out from both sides. There's a self-destruct getting ready from Small Squid. Graviton pops out from Pats. Gazer coming back from spawn. Does have that Primal Rage at the ready if they need it in order to contest. CTA, however, have taken back control of this point. Lysander just barely squeaking away with his life.
Yeah, we definitely saw a really good recontest on there from the side of CTA. Just buying time, using their support ults very efficiently, using their while buying time for Gazer to come back and just make a lot of space for their team to just get a lot of picks and just do a lot of damage and just pick off their OlderWatch at the end there. And we're going to be seeing Lysander switch to the break finally here.
Yeah, Sickness coming into this next fight quite low on health. There goes the deep bomb from on high, and it will find Lysander. So CTA gets a huge leg up here in this next fight as Small Squid continues to put the team on his back, taking out Faptastrophe and looking for the kill onto the baby D.Va. Sickness not able to get back into the mech after the D.Va ultimate. Will be getting taken out, wants to respawn with the team, but Jaeger having an issue with that. He's going to get staggered there by just a little bit. And CTA, stellar defense right now. What do you switch up if you're OlderWatch?
I definitely say you switch either to the McCree here for the monkey that's been harassing your backline, as we see Lysander do, with the stun, maybe a Reaper, but shields, Reaper's just not really good against shields and the DM, so I'd say the McCree is definitely a really good pick here, and it's going to help OlderWatch push in through this.
60 seconds.
Yep, they're going to take that McCree and they're going to go for the tried and true stairwell on the left. They're going to get bottlenecked in. There goes that monkey, angry as can be. Gazer trying to get a couple of kills with that Primal Rage. Not going to find anything. Sound barrier from Jaeger to keep OlderWatch alive as the hammers come down. Jolly Roger not able to find a single soul. However, there goes Delim taking out Jolly Robber as CTA able to get their leg up once again in this fight for the point. Sound barrier just to make sure that it can happen. With 30 seconds left on the clock, CTA is doing a fantastic job of stuffing them back into this stairwell. Self-destruct on hold for Small Squid as they continue to pepper in the damage.
Yeah, we've definitely seen really good ultimate usage from CTA here, as they just have a really stellar defense against OlderWatch.
Oh, but that might be the door. Pats is able to take out Faptastrophe. The Graviton does come out. There's a self-destruct behind the grab, trying to find a couple. It does not find any. However, Lysander, it's a different story as he grabs the kill on a Small Squid, and the help of Jolly Roger takes Shinrakai out of the fight. CTA now finding themselves in a bit of a tight spot as the Zarya bubbles keep OlderWatch alive. There's a sound barrier coming out from Jaeger. Delim trying to work up a rally as quickly as possible. Rally is now online. Uses it immediately to keep CTA in this defense. Overtime ticker ticking down. The Discord goes out onto Whiskey Tangy, and Whiskey Tangy's not able to keep standing. We're going to see Chinese Takeout Academy get the full hold on this second attempt.
Yeah, a full hold by the side of CTA, and Gazer with that really amazing monkey gameplay. That Primal Rage at the end really helped out to destabilize OlderWatch's defense and just boop them around and really enable CTA to pick up on the destabilization that Gazer has pushed in. I see that CTA is definitely a lot more comfortable on the monkey from Gazer with his aggressive playstyle and his ability to make space and able to help out CTA just push in through OlderWatch's defenses. But you're gonna see Gazer go on the Ryan here with Sombra from Small Squid, which is probably going to be really interesting in my opinion.
I think this is a great composition. You have five and a half minutes.
I
You
mean,
have
why
plenty
not
of
test something?
time. Yeah, you have plenty of time to kind of do a little bit of a pick battle. You don't have to build a quick EMP. You just have to get a EMP. That's all that you need is one EMP to change the fight. You know, and it doesn't really matter how long it takes for you to get that. My interest, however, is Lysander on the defense on the Roadhog. We're getting some roads. No, I don't know if that
I'm
works.
interested to see how this works. I mean,
Gonna be keeping a close eye on that pig there.
yeah, I mean, usually you see one of the tanks brought out for a DPS character to do more damage and just have a better toolkit, but with Roadhog, I mean, he doesn't really have that one-shot hook anymore, especially with Brig Armor, and that's just a really interesting pick from Lysander. I'm excited to see how this goes out.
I will say that positioning in GOATS is paramount, so if Lysander is able to pull somebody through that Deathball comp into his own team, that will be a massive help to OlderWatch here on the defense, but it's going to be quite stagnant. This pick battle is going to take forever. Small Squid doing his best there on the D.Va to stay in the suit. Hook falls on a barriered Zarya. Not going to find any purchase within this fight. Gazer just kind of tickling himself onto the point, but he's a low Reinhardt. There goes the boop. They're going to go ahead and push in onto Gazer. Good call on Jolly Roger, telling them to pull back a little bit, but they didn't pull back far enough. Jolly Roger follows. That opens the door for Chinese Takeout Academy. Lysander able to hook the Zarya off of the high ground and into the fight. Sound barrier comes out from Jaeger as the Graviton comes out from Whiskey. There goes the whole hog looking to find at least a couple of victims. It's able to break the shield of Gazer and push that Reinhardt off the map, but the defense matrix going to be eating up most of it as Shinrakai gets that final kill onto the Roadhog. Small Squid going hunting now, looking for the low health Zarya. Going to be able to find it. There goes Jaeger. He's playing tippy-toe skates off of the tires there on the top, and it's not going to be enough. We will see Chinese Takeout get it.
Yeah, we saw a really great attack from CTA, getting it in just one push. They were able to destabilize the OlderWatch's defenses with the really fast grab and trans build up by Vi and Pats. And Small Squid got a bomb in just, I believe, like a minute, which was really insane. And we see Sickness pop off here with the Ashe, which is actually really impressive. I've never gotten a really good handle on Ashe myself because I think it's like a really fast projectile, wouldn't you say?
It feels like it is.
Yeah, definitely. But going back to the match, CTA, I believe they've gotten a really good hold on how OlderWatch is playing and have adapted really well to how they play and their play style and how they react to certain situations. And OlderWatch just hasn't been able to. They haven't been able to react to how CTA has been reacting to them. It's not going back and forth here. It's just CTA is getting the advantage here with the full hold on Horizon and just getting that one tick in just a fight. I think that if you're OlderWatch, you got to change things up here, and I think that they still have a chance to take this back. I mean, we might be seeing this go to a 5th map, and that would be really interesting.
That it would, especially because we haven't seen a lot of Busan played. And as much as I like Blizzard World, I would love to see Busan.
Yeah, I haven't seen Busan since day 2 of stage 1 because we had a bit of a mishap with our matches on stage 1, but we won't go into that.
We'll keep that for the VODs, for the clips, if you will.
Yeah. I'm just glad that Lysander has been doing really well here. He's definitely a really good player from OlderWatch, along with Sickness. They just work really well together, and I haven't been seeing that synergy in Horizon, but I'm glad to see that. I mean, I'm hoping to see that synergy come back for Blizzard World.
In Blizzard World, this is a map where we might see Lysander on that Widowmaker. I mean, of course, I'm expecting goats v goats because it's goats, so it's meta. But I would love to see a tried and true old school Widowmaker battle here.
Definitely. And Pharah is such a good map on this point too. I'm sort of mad to see that no team has actually run a Pharah.
Gotta give the
either of these maps. Yeah, I know. I mean, sure, D.Va can contest her, but with a Mercy Pocket, Pharah, and especially on this map with such a high skybox, you can just play around corners and just not give the D.Va any time of day. Just spam rockets from above.
With a Mercy Pocket,
if
a
you
couple of buffs from Jeff, she could be where she needs to be.
Definitely.
Jeff, like I said, I know you're watching, so please.
Come on, just give us the Rocket Queen.
Yeah. Can we just like make her ultimate her secondary ability? Like you know.
Yeah, come on.
Who doesn't want justice raining from above every 12 seconds?
Yeah, who doesn't want 6,000 DPS?
Fun fact, Pharah shoots 60 rockets per second when ulting.
Wow.
Fun fact. Yeah, that one time when Overwatch trivia pays off. Woo!
I don't actually know any Overwatch trivia. I'm a normie.
Oh, I've got so much, man. I'll ask you if we go to map 5 in the interim. I'll test your knowledge.
Okay.
I'll see
We're
what
actually
we
gonna
do.
be seeing Ice Sickness and Lysander with the
Pat.
yes.
Pat switched off the fair last minute, teasing us, man. But we will see that. We will see that crossfire that worked very well.
Oh
The
yes.
crossfire worked wonders last map, so I am not surprised to see that again. Lysander looks like he's lining up for a cheeky silk thread shot. No, he's just gonna go ahead and peek the corner. Ooh, and Jolly gets a fire strike onto V to open up the fight. Pat's, however, going to return the favor onto Sickness as we see a couple of members of Chinese Takeout push that left-hand side of the point. Now they'll take it back to the team fight as they're trying to break Jolly Roger's shield. Good shield management from Jolly throughout the rest of this map as they're trying to get their teammates back from spawn. Lysander's going to send one back on his own, and you'll see the entirety of Chinese Takeout kind of breathe in, and now they're going to breathe out. They've taken Jolly Roger out of the equation, so now they can just run in. But a huge anti-grenade! Oh man, that anti-grenade just stopped the fight.
Holy crap, we saw an amazing anti plus dynamite combo from Jaeger and Sickness, which was able to pick off Gazer. They should have... Holy, that was actually insane. But while we did see Sickness get picked off at the start and Jolly get that pick onto V, if CTA just played it slow and Azalea didn't go in, I feel like they would have been in a really good position to just wait for V and push in after that because they had the spawn advantage and Sickness was coming back. But we're going to be seeing them push in from the right side here.
Yep, taking a different approach, taking a different direction, seeing if they can switch things up. It's going to be a mighty hard fight to win, however, with a nano-boosted Zenyatta on the field. Fatastrophe going to be dishing out those discords as quickly as possible. Bob now in the equation as the Transcendence comes out. Big anti going to fall on deaf ears this time. No damage to follow through. They got to focus Bob there in the corner before they can go on to their other teammates. Whiskey not going to be able to survive through the rest of the fight. Sickness going to be able to take Shinrakai out as Lysander here on the stairwell tries to pepper in shots. He's going to get attacked by the baby diva, but it's not going to matter too much as he grabs himself 2 kills and pops back to safety. Jolly Roger back on the fight on the Reinhardt, has Jaeger backing him up on the Ana. That's a lot of healing. And I think that this is going to be a take from Chinese Takeout Academy.
Definitely. Unless, I think that they can win this, definitely.
No, Caster's Curse. Caster's Curse definitely in effect, but there it is! They're cursing you too! Gazer does get a massive shatter in, grabbing Jaeger. And the charge goes through. Self-destruct, throwing it back to spawn in! Back to the action! He grabs 3 kills with that one from Small Squid, and we've seen him do it before with those Diva Bombs, but coming in clutch once again.
That was a blessing and a curse. It was a huge play by Small, but it enabled OlderWatch to not stagger through and not allow CTA to get any staggers on them on OlderWatch and just allowed them to be more grouped for this fight. But it was still a huge 3K from Small, and we saw Lysander actually pick up 2, which was really helpful in retaking that, but it just wasn't enough as he didn't get any more after that, and OlderWatch just staggered onto the point.
Yep, and now we're going to be seeing some switches come out. The pseudo dive has returned. Gaze are going to be switching on the for this next fight. Jolly Roger pushing on to the payload, and this Winston switch, no doubt, to do a little bit of a counter to Lysander and Sickness.
Definitely. But we're going to be seeing Jolly probably get a huge shatter here unless Pats can block it or Gazer just gets that huge clutch bubble. But we do see a bubble go out, and he gets nobody with that shatter, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. V able to keep people alive with that Transcendence, but it's not going to do too much. Gazer just kind of doing the tickle damage with the tickle cannon. But it is going to be Jolly Roger going to be the one to fall here in this sustained fight. Whiskey now finding himself in a bit of a tricky situation. Jaeger trying to do the best he can on that Ana to keep everybody alive. But regardless, the payload will continue to move, and that, thus, is what's important.
Yeah, we see Wisco playing really aggressive here, even though his team is just not with him. And we actually saw Fatastrophe get a pick on Gazer as he was going in, and just hasn't...
There goes the nano boost coming out from Jaeger. There goes the graviton coming out from... They're doing everything that they can. There's the Transcendence. but nothing can save you from that Diva Bomb, Whiskey, as that takes him out of the fight. Bob onto the field. Everything has been used now from the side of OlderWatch. Chinese Takeout gonna have that Transcendence still in their back pocket. B in the back of the fight. They don't have a main tank there to help out right now, but Fat-Tash gonna get pushed off and away from the payload as they are just mere... Oh, never mind. They're nothing. They got point 2. They were close, and now they got it. Azalea gonna be marching forward on this brig to try and find a bit of purchase onto Lysander on the Reaper of everything else. We're now seeing a Reaper come out. So if you're on Reaper merge, and you no doubt make the Reaper switch because the Winston's wrecking you, but now he's a Reinhardt. What do you do?
Well, I would definitely advise a change from the Reaper to a McCree, as Reaper just isn't enough to go with the shields. I mean, unless he gets amped speed into their Rhine, but we don't see a Lucio from the side of them, so... I mean, what more can you do?
We'll see if they can make their if they make that switch. No doubt gonna wait for that Death Blossom to come online before anything happens, though. Azalea with that rally gonna bring everybody back up to a little bit of armor, a little bit of chip on their shoulders. There goes Gazer charging into the fray, but not able to find a kill. Until I say he can't find a kill, then he finds a kill. Jolly Roger gonna be going down there. And now Chinese Takeout Academy gonna be able to stuff this push into the mouth of OlderWatch, as they are barely even able to make it outside of their spawn doors.
Yeah, we see actually a really big ultimate advantage from the side of CTA. And they've just been able to pick up on all of OlderWatch. They have been staggering in for all of this point and just haven't been able to really contest the cart as a full 6 team, or a full 6, yeah. And CTA's just been really destroying OlderWatch's defense here, and with amazing ultimate usage and just positioning from them and just really grouping up. I don't think that OlderWatch has been really adapting to anything that they've been doing. I mean, and even if they do, they've been doing it late, and CTA's just been reacting to that and just switching earlier, like the Reaper pick onto the Winston, but he immediately switched to Ryan, so it really did nothing.
If the game were to end right now, I would not say that OlderWatch lost to Chinese Takeout Academy. I would say that Chinese Takeout Academy
Ready for battle.
won it. And by saying that, I mean that, like, OlderWatch, they're playing well, but
Yeah.
Chinese Takeout Academy, they're the team that we're seeing make these switches that you wouldn't normally see. Make these switches that are doing just the right time. They're not waiting too long. They're not hesitating about it. They're like, all right, it's not working. Switch it. Go. We know this is going to work. Oh, they switched to a Reaper. Cool. I'm not Winston anymore.
I just remembered where I remembered from Azalea from the showcase matches. He was an amazing Widow. I'm excited to see how he does on defense here with Widow. Definitely. He popped off during showcase. And
It's always beautiful when your DPS players can play a DPS hero and not Brig.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be seeing this weird, kind of like Chengdu goats from CTA here.
Let's see what they're able to do. Azalea positioning himself there on the high ground just behind the point on that Widowmaker. Looking to find an opening when he can. Sickness, however, staying completely out of the fight. In that invisibility, is going to be able to get found out by Azalea. Not going to be able to find any hacks either. Azalea going to be repositioning. Gazer taking the fight at face value right now with Jolly Roger as Small Squid and Gazer get pushed into a corner. We're going to see an anti-nade land on the Fat-Catastrophe and get him quite mighty low. And oh no! It looks like a Lucio gets hacked there in the edge. Oh, Shinrakai trying to go around to get a boop on the Reinhardt, gets hacked and taken out of the fight. And now Whiskey Tangy and Lysander trying to do as much as they can on the point as we wait for Gazer to get back. Gazer now returning to the fight. There goes the nano boost onto the Zarya, trying to get the Graviton up as quickly as possible. Sickness comes out with a two-person hack. Not the big hacks he's known for, but it's a hack that is big enough. Whisko Tangy gonna follow up on the kills there. And now, we're not gonna be able to see much of a contest. The beautiful boop from the flail by Lysander onto Azalea, forcing that Widowmaker to go ahead and, I would say sleep with the fishes, but it seems like the fish are hung up here. So, taking a dip.
As we see Azalea switch back to the Brig, I'm extremely disappointed with his disappointment. words hard. With his performance lately, he was able to get a few body shots, but we didn't see any great headshots coming in from him, as he wasn't able to get those really good angles with them. But we see a fight break out here with grab from Pats.
Yeah, Pat's going to be opening up with the grab, but there's a counter grab at the same time. Jolly Roger getting mighty low anti, but the Zarya bubble there to save him for just a fraction of a second. The inevitable, however, still comes and happens. Fantastic with that transcendence to keep everybody alive as the nano boosted Pats boost that high charge. Zarya beam into everybody's face. Wisco Tangy trying to get a consolation prize. Doesn't find anything, however, comes up with none. Azalea onto that brig now, looking for the kill. Onto Lysander to take the brig out of the GOAT's equation. And now we see Sickness having to teleport out, but does have the EMP in, and Jolly Roger coming back. Those respawns are crucial. Big EMP and a huge shatter, but the Diva Bomb gonna be coming out from Small Squid to try and save the day, but it's not gonna happen this time. It's just too much from Jolly Roger and Sickness.
We saw a huge combo with the EMP shatter. It was almost to the millisecond. That was an amazing combo from Sickness and Jolly. That was a good amount of team coordination there that really enabled them to pick up the fight there. And while we did see a Diva Bomb by Small, it just wasn't enough, and Fab gets a huge pick onto Pats here.
Yeah, it's big taking that Zarya out of the equation, but thinking of big, there's that shatter. The rally from Lysander, however, going to make it so that OlderWatch can keep up in this fight. Graviton comes out from Wisco Tangies, gets the majority of Chinese Takeout Academy. And now it's just V and Azalea fighting for their lives as Pats returns to the fight, but it's just a Zarya and a Zenyatta. There's not much you can do with just 2 Zs. It's not even enough to go to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Sickness build a, I think that was an EMP in like 30 seconds. He was just able to farm everybody from Gazer and from CTA, and we saw that hack go on Gazer right after the shatter, which didn't allow him to like really push up and follow up on any of that shatter, which really helped out OlderWatch with sustaining them through that shatter. And we definitely saw a really good combo from the EMP grab from the side of OlderWatch, as we see Sickness just trying to farm another EMP, hit 60 there.
There goes the Graviton, but stopped by the Earth Shatter, and once again Jolly Roger team out. He does get taken out in the line of fire there. So he will not be able to help his team out for the rest of the fight, but Jaeger gonna be picking the team up as they all get hacked. Once again, Sickness throwing open the doors, taking them off of their hinges and walking through the entryway, putting them back to spawn. This has been a rough defense for Chinese Takeout Academy.
Definitely, we've been seeing really great Sombra play from Sickness. And we see them, Small Squid eat that grab.
Oh, that's big. Small Squid taking that grab out of the equation. Just at the archway, so all that damage gonna get mitigated by the environment. Thanks, Blizzard. Jaeger trying to get away, trying to keep his team alive at the same time. Lysander gonna go ahead and take a bit of a jump, see if he can test himself there, but the environmental will tag him. Fatastrophe's Transcendence falls on deaf ears as he does mitigate a little bit of damage, but there wasn't too much of a fight going on at the moment. And Gazer and Azalea now, with the speed boost, able to push back onto OlderWatch and take a little bit of time off of the clock here. And
yeah,
we talked earlier about the switches. What's your opinion now on Azalea? We've seen Azalea go from the Widowmaker to the Brigette, to the McCree, to the Brigette, to the McCree, and now back to the Brigette.
I think that Azalea, he's probably not just, or they're probably just not playing their best right now. And with the McCree and the Widow, it isn't up to par as what I saw in the showcases. And he's just going to the Brig right now because he just wants to feel useful and just do his best, even though he's not doing the best. But that's a huge shatter from Jolly.
Yeah, speaking of useful, speaking of your best, that grabbed all 4 members in view. There goes the grab onto Lysander to get that break out of the fight, but the Transcendence is going to keep her in it. Shinrakai does get hacked out by Sickness, who decides to go ahead and hack the rest of the team there with that EMP. No ultimates online for either team just yet. Small Squid not able to get off that Diva Bomb before he gets demeched, and now Jolly Roger and Sickness able to put themselves into the kill feed and possibly into the scoreboard here. Remember, whichever team takes this map takes the day here.
And we're going to see OlderWatch cap with a second more than CTA did. I think it was 135 to 134. And it is
to 3.
Holy crap,
Switching
that's a
sides.
really good push by OlderWatch. They were able to really combo that
Initiating
that
match.
EMP with a lot of their ults, and Sickness was just building EMPs left and right, just really disabling CTA's pushes on the defense here. And if you're CTA, I think you either counter the Sombra like he did on Root, or you just get rolled again like he did on the attack here.
So
What do you
here's my issue with that, and I call it my issue because it's how I play in my low gold ranked games. But Sombra on this map becomes it's like she becomes extra slippery. She's extra hard to get because there's all these little nooks and crannies and side rooms and side passages that she can go through. I just don't think that one McCree can push that away. I don't think one McCree can counter that.
Well, yes,
I think that it takes a lot on your diva, and the issue with that is that Sickness is the diva.
Definitely. I think that
3, 2,
you know, with Sickness on this Sombra, it's
I'm
just...
sorry, I meant to say Pats, by the way. Pats is
yes, of course.
Pats is the diva.
We're seeing
Oh,
Sickness. We didn't see Gazer on the Winston, and I don't like this pick at all, because Gazer, if he goes in, he just gets hacked, and then what is he gonna do in the back line? He's just not gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, this really does rely on the Sombra playing away from her team.
Yeah, definitely.
There.
As
See
I
what
said,
happens. There you
Gazer
go.
gets
He
hacked and he's
immediately
dead.
been stunned. Whiskey, however, going to be putting their name in the claim to fame in that kill feed there as OlderWatch makes mincemeat out of Chinese Takeout Academy on that push. And I think that's, we've seen plays similar to that happen in Overwatch League already. We've seen Sato do it multiple times where he wants to play that Winston. Players want to play something other than GOATs or, the very small range of heroes that's in GOATs.
Yeah, but it's just not useful, or not a
Yep.
really good pick against it.
Doesn't
only
get the
thing
job
that-
done.
Exactly. Gazer, especially, I believe he could have done the Winston had there not been a Sombra.
Oh no,
If he
speaking
played
of
it
Sombra.
exactly right.
Speaking of Sombra, Thickness coming in with another big 6 people, the whole team once again, and we see OlderWatch just go ahead and stroll through the kill feed. Shinrakai trying to get out, and Small's trying to help him, but they're gonna go ahead and commit here. They don't have any other choice. They're already in overtime. The Graviton does come out, the sound barrier as well, but it's not gonna be enough. Wisco Tangy, a high charge Zarya, keeping everyone at bay from these respawns as the brig goes down. Lysander able to beat out Azalea on the point as V's Transcendence runs low. We're going to see Gazer get bullied, and nobody will touch the point.
Yes, I think we're gonna see this going to a map 5 unless CTA just gets some really good coordination against the Sombra like they did on Root. Because while one McCree, as you said earlier, is not going to do much by his own, but in this team-based environment, it's a lot different than competitive. And it's just, it takes a lot of coordination with the Sombra, against the Sombra, to just negate her effect on the team and just, they're not focusing her down as much. But because Sickness is just playing way too far away, and it's just helping stall out CTA and not able to let them push in.
Ready for battle.
And
It's
it's
just-
so hard to push in when 5 out of 6 people are going, is she over here? Is she over here? Is she behind me? Is she above me? Is she to my left? Is she to my right? Where is she? And he gets these hacks so quickly that it's like every team fight, even twice a team fight,
30 seconds.
Yeah.
you're looking at a potential, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
At least that's
and
what it
small
sounds like in
squid.
my comp games. That's what that moment sounds like.
Yeah, that was definitely really evident when Sombra got her buffs at the first part, but it's glad to see that she got nerfed. But Sickness still able to push out and really use her kit really effectively
5,
against CTA here. And Small Squid not able to use basically anything. He's not able to do anything because he just gets hacked left and right, while Sickness just farms his EMP off of her.
Yep. So now we're going to a composition that doesn't necessarily make you keep together 100%. for Chinese Takeout Academy with that Ana being able to be in the backline. But there we go. Very quickly, V getting hacked by Sickness, but thankfully, Small Squid's there with the supports on the Diva to be able to kind of mitigate all of the damage that would have come out from Sickness. But no, Sickness still, however, back there doing work as Lysander joins her in the backline. Now you got a Brig and a Sombra in the backline. This is not good news as Small Squid and Azalea both take the bullets. Jaeger going to be able to take out V, and that really opens the field. Now it's a 3v6 on the point. Make that a 3v1 or 6v1. Oh no! There we go. Just a Zarya, just a Reinhardt there to get this defense, but the EMP is going to come in just for the hell of it. And we will see OlderWatch taking us to a map 5.
Yes, we saw an amazing Sombra play by Cygnus this map. I believe that we should probably give him the MVP when it comes to the end here. He's been doing really good when it comes to getting those key hacks and getting this amazing EMPs. And we see Small Squid with this huge bomb at the beginning here.
Oh,
Threading the needle. That's awesome play by Sickness or Small Squid. And Sickness.
Threading the needle, he blew up the needle.
Indeed. we saw I believe Pats build a grab in that fight. He's been getting really a lot of charge and getting these grabs really fast as Zarya, but with Sickness's hacking his Rotten and just hacking the Diva, just farming his team, he's not able to use them as effectively as he's probably going to be able to. But I'm excited to see Busan because all 3 points, they're drastically different. Like Mecha Base is a really good Maygoats map. Downtown is a really good Dive Goats map, and I believe the last point is a really good just regular Zen Goats map. So, but they're all really good.
Is it Downtown that's the amazing Widowmaker map?
Downtown is the amazing Widowmaker map as well, so it's going to be great to see Lysander and maybe Azalea go off.
We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be really interesting to see, not going to lie.
Alrighty, but we are going to be taking one quick break before we go to map 5. So ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned with the Owlet. We'll be back in a jiffy with OlderWatch and CTA. I am Schtitle24. With me is Merge, and producing is CommanderHuy. We'll see you guys in just a moment. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on the final map of the night, OlderWatch versus Chinese Takeout Academy. I am Schtitle24, and joining me for this cast for this beautiful, beautiful match of Overwatch is Merge. And last but not least, I haven't said it enough, and earlier I said it wrong, producing for you, CommanderHuy. How you doing, Merge? What's your feels on the game we got here?
I really want Pats to play Orisa because, but nope. He gets us every time. But I'm really excited to see
get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I know. He's just banned from the tournament. He's out. No more for him.
It's against terms of service, sir. Exactly.
I really want to see Sickness is here again with the hacks from Sombra.
He's gonna be trying to get those hacks in, get those EMPs. Ooh, early kill on to Faptastrophe. Good flank by Azalea on the Brig. But Wisco Tango gonna make him pay for that one. They're gonna send somebody to the point, and just a lone Lysander on the point, but he's going to get mobbed on by Small Squid, Pats, and V as the rest of the team gets onto the point. Gaze with a great reaction there onto Jolly Robber to stop the charge and just get the double stun. Sickness looking for the hack onto Shinrakai, can't quite find it. Now going face-to-face with a Brig, not going to be the kind of matchup that you want. Wisco Tango in the same situation against Small Squid as Faptastrophe tries to pepper in those orbs from the high ground. And what's happening here? We're seeing the same Sombra, we're seeing the same OlderWatch. Why'd Chinese Takeout at this point?
Well, you see, while they did win the point, look at the ultimates. OlderWatch is in a really good position here to take back the point. They got EMP soon, they got Grab, they got Beat, they got Shatter, and what does CTA have? Not much.
Nope, they've got a hacked Reinhardt. That's what they've got. There goes the initiation coming in from Jolly. Graviton's coming out from both sides, but a sound barrier to save Jaeger and his team. They're going to be able to keep a little bit more of a sustain. There goes the hack from Sickness and the hammer down from Jolly Roger as they look to find a couple of kills. Jolly Roger not able to find any on that charge, but he'll take Shinrakai out of the fight just the same. There goes a Transcendence. A little bit late from V, just to get them as much percentage on the point as possible as Jaeger puts 2 off the map.
Jaeger got a double boop. That's insane. And as I said, OlderWatch was in a really good position here, but look at the ultimates now. CTA is just going to go back and forth. They have 3 ults. Let's see how they do with this, but Jolly is actually nearing another Shatter. And so is Whiskey with the grab.
Oh, let's see what they're able to do. The Shatter does get blocked. Jolly put the kill just... There goes the self-destruct popping out, and it's going to grab a Jaeger, but it's also going to give a lot of charge onto Wisco Tangy. Wisco Tangy trying to even the playing field right now, able to help with that kill onto Gazer as OlderWatch keeps them at this chokehold. Wisco Tangy not going to be able to stay alive for much longer unless he can get back to his support, which he is not able to do. Jolly Roger caught up in this Graviton on point. And this is going to be a pretty easy take. They had to use everything to do it, and I think it seems like it's just going to be a seesaw of a match. Now, definitely. Chinese Takeout has no ults, but OlderWatch has ults.
Exactly. It's just gonna be a bit of a, frick, what's the word for that? Never mind. But we're gonna be seeing,
match, if you will.
Yep. We're gonna be seeing Wisco with the grab here. I think he's gonna use it really effectively.
Oh, speaking of effectively, there's the EMP. To know so well, but nothing really happens out of it. Graviton has to... There's no follow-up damage. There's going to be Faptastrophe with that Transcendence. It's a bit late, but it's going to let Jolly Roger get into the thick of it and grab himself a 4K.
I want to give a moment of recognition for me here. He saw the Sombra about to EMP, and he transed immediately. He saved his team throughout that EMP with the Shatter, but it just wasn't enough because the grab that followed, they didn't have Beat for that, so as soon as the trans ran out, boom, Jolly got a 4K. But V, with that excellent reaction time for the EMP, it really helped out his team cancel those 2 ultimates, but...
He got them up to 80% already, and they're going to go ahead and take the low ground coming in. Shatter comes in onto Lysander, the rallying Brig, to try and take her out of the equation, but she is still alive and kicking. Counter Shatter gets blocked by Gazer, but that's not going to do too much. It's then taken up by Whiskey. The self-destruct falls on deaf ears. And now, Chinese Takeout Academy in a bit of a tight spot, as OlderWatch has not only the mana advantage, but the positional advantage and the ultimate advantage in this fight. Small Squid out of the neck, going to be getting taken out last, but not least.
You know what we said about the ping pong match? I think that the ball's definitely in OlderWatch's court here. They got EMP here, they got Grav, they're nearing another rally, and they're nearing a bunch of ultimates, and what is CTA gonna do? Not much, especially with that EMP.
Yeah, those EMPs are coming in big, and they're coming in hard, because that grabs 3 members. There's a grab, because there's nobody alive to do anything about it.
Yeah, that EMP canceled the beat that from Shinrakai, which really enabled OlderWatch to just destroy CTA as they came in through the point with the Grav. It was really excellent Sombra play from Sickness yet again. Really great reaction time from V with the EMPs. But yeah, definitely I think that with their comp here, CTA is just not reacting as they usually would versus the Sombra. It's just destroying their comp. If they were after this match, I think that they're going to be doing a lot more scrims, just practicing against Sombra comps, just theorizing against Sombra comps where they went wrong, how to fix this, because where
It's
it
been
stands
the
right
bane
now,
of their existence.
yeah, where it stands right now, OlderWatch is definitely in a good position to take this game, especially on this map, which is really good with Sombra.
Yeah, and we're seeing this Sombra yet again, but we aren't seeing a McCree. We aren't seeing a switch from Chinese Takeout Academy.
Yeah, I think that CTA, they're just gonna try their best with this Goats. Just try and.
It's what they know, and it's what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
Ooh, a great bait right there from Sickness. Gets the charge out of Azalea, but does the translocator in the middle of the charge, gets that Brig out of position, and then the fight ensues. Jolly Roger gonna find an easy kill onto Gazer with the help of Jaeger. But
Yeah,
Chinese Takeout Academy, they're really having a really difficult time tackling the team composition.
Yeah, Azalea's been getting out of position really badly this game. He got picked off at the start, which enabled their team to just push in without the sustain from Brig. OlderWatch was just able to hack Small Squid and just push in from there. We're gonna see Sickness and Jolly Roger build up their EMP Shatter combo here, which is gonna be really important, and they have the ultimate advantage for this coming fight.
Yeah, that combination has been absolutely deadly throughout these matches, as we've seen, and they're so good with it. I mean, the first time it was mere milliseconds. The second time it was barely a snap. There goes the EMP, but there's no reason for a shatter because nobody's grouped up. They're just gonna go ahead and clean up the mess here. Gazer, however, and Azalea able to do their work. V coming in with yet another huge Transcendence. Transcendences, in fact, from both teams. Rallies coming out as well. Azalea does not have the rally just yet. There goes the grab from Pat to keep everything on, but Jolly Roger's going to answer with a shatter that matters, and he's going to be the one changing the name of the game as Lysander takes V out of the fight. Shinrakai going to return the favor, and now with a little bit of a man advantage. Chinese Takeout Academy has some hope, but Sickness and Jaeger, they're going to change the game here and tip the scales back into their favor. A high charge Zarya looking at Pat's going to take him out of the fight, and Azalea trying to stay alive, but Whiskey Tangy has a different story to tell, a different song to sing as Jaeger looks to push him out. 69% built up, and we did see the swap from Chinese Takeout, but it's not going to amount to much.
If they could ever kill this baby diva, they get back to the point, but we did see both support ults come from CTA at the same time to just sustain. They didn't use any tank ults from the side of OlderWatch, which really enabled them to, as soon as both those support ults were ended, they used Shatter, they used Grab, they picked off a bunch of the enemy team, and Whiskey just picked off the rest of their team as they straggled onto point, which really enabled OlderWatch to win this. And I believe if you're OlderWatch, you're in a really good position, but...
Oh, you were in a really good position, but that shatter just got blocked. The grab didn't much. The self-destruct made its own, and it had its name. And there we have it. Small Squid gonna go ahead and put the team on his back and carry them through to a point take here, as Lysander is the last remaining member getting taken out by Pats. The overtime ticker may be ticking, but Chinese Takeout is not willing to go home just yet.
Yeah, they do have all three support ults on the side of CTA, but look on the side of OlderWatch. They're nearing another EMP. They have both tank ults. They are nearing a rally to engage. They have basically every single ultimate from the side of OlderWatch. I think if you're CTA, you gotta either play this really right or you're gonna lose the game.
You must be careful. You gotta count ultimates. There's a lot of ultimates to count, though. No doubt Faptastically will have his own. There's a huge EMP. There goes Graviton Surge. and the team wipe is all but inevitable as V pops his Transcendence to keep what remains of his team alive. They're looking for the kill onto Jolly Roger, but they will find none. Graviton over there off on the side of the point as a bit of a last-ditch effort just to keep Lysander busy.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
we see Shinrakai just beat himself to no avail, and we see OlderWatch take the game, and they win. It's great.
they take the map, they take the point, they take the day. OlderWatch, ladies and gentlemen, will be able to come out on top 3-2 to Chinese Takeout Academy. And real quick, before we cut to the credits merge, I want to ask you, if you can give me your top 3 players of the game and why, let me hear it.
Definitely Sickness is number 1 for his stellar Sombra play and just getting those key hacks. I believe number 2 is definitely Small with his amazing Diva Bombs, and Gazer with his amazing Shatters. But I believe that both teams, they're really good. They're really good structurally. It's just CTA was not able to react and basically adapt to the way that OlderWatch was playing at the end there. They were doing really good on route. They won route. They won Horizon, but they weren't able to win Blizz, and they weren't able to win Busan, which just really did not help them against OlderWatch. What about you? What are your top 3?
My top 3, top 1, of course, and I think we both have an agreement on this. The MVP of the match does go to Sickness for those crazy sick hacks. After that, I think Pat comes in big. His Zarya play and his ability to shut down Sickness's Sombra on that McCree on Route 66. I think that was fantastic, as well as Shinrakai. Shinrakai had he had that 1 minute sound barrier that the beat that he built up on one map, and apart from that, he had really good game sense about when to use that ultimate, when not to use it, when to go ahead and die and keep it. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So my top 3 go Sickness, Pats, and then Shinrakai.
Yes, definitely Sickness at the number 1 spot. He's the MVP for this map. And I believe, where's OlderWatch in the standings right now? I believe they're number 9. So this will help them maybe make it into playoffs. You never know.
That's the hope. That's the dream.
Exactly. Well, we do see OlderWatch at the top of the lower bracket of major standings. They're in a pretty good position, I would say, to maybe take a couple maps off the next few teams and just maybe make playoffs. While CTA got a lot to figure out. They're a relatively new team. They just got into Owlet. Maybe just getting their feet into the water, and just maybe they just need to have better team coordination, in my opinion, just to deal with the Sombra and deal with switches. They did really well on route and with Horizon on that, but they just weren't able to get it on Blizz and Busan, which hurt them.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chinese Takeout Academy, one of the newer teams to the Owlet tournament, not able to take home the win. But you know what? They respected their elders, and OlderWatch took home the bacon today. Our MVP of the day, Sickness, with some crazy sick hacks. Make sure that you check out those clips that I'm going to make once this goes live. We love you. I am Schtitle24. With me today was Merge. Producing was CommanderHuy, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.
See ya.